Beloved hearts of love, it is I, the Christ Presence, known to you as Jesus or Yeshu ben Joseph, who lived in your world some 2,000 years ago. I lived, I studied, I meditated, I taught, I died, I resurrected, and I ascended. And upon my ascension, I was raised not only into the higher dimensions of life, of light, of shadowless light, and endless love. Since my ascension, I have continued to ascend until I have become the universal consciousness of divine love, of divine light. And so too is this the destiny of each of you. Beloved hearts of love, I greet you this day with all the love of my ascended heart's flame to life, and I come to enfold you in what we refer to as our miracle mantle of love's mastery. And in the days ahead, if you will call forth my miracle mantle, if you will accept it, this will provide you with all the protection. My miracle mantle will provide you with what you require, will provide you with a greater light that will repel the discord that is building in the outer world at this time. Beloved hearts, when these broadcasts began in the spring of this year, Mother Akasha advised that the Ascended Masters were aware, could see, that 5 major storms, 5 different major difficulties were coming, that the people of Earth will face. 2 of these storms are in the world, manifesting now. One affecting the health of the people of Earth, and the other being a growing injustice that is acting out in this world. Indeed, the people of Earth may face some difficult times these next few years, as the other storms that Mother Akasha has seen begin to come in. Beloved hearts of love, some will say, as turmoil grows, some will say it is Judgment Day, that it is the wrath of God. And I will respectfully disagree, for our Creator is not a judgmental God. Rather, sadly, it is human beings who too often are full of judgment and willingly place that judgment upon others. The difficult times that are presently in your world, and more difficulty that is yet coming, is not the wrath of God. These difficult times are the natural laws of the universe, law of cause and consequence, cause and effect. For now there is too much impurities in many people's lives. There are too many people of greed who are taking control of governments, corporations, resources, monetary global systems, and even much more. The energy of all discord, impurities, and greed has been building in the world for far too long. And now, the consequence, that energy is beginning to recoil in people's individual lives and en masse. Yet there is much you all can do to lessen the discord in the world that has reached a momentum. And that momentum is beginning to act out upon the surface of your planet, in people's lives, and eventually in the powers of nature and the forces of the elements. I, the Christ Presence, say to all of you who are awakened and are awakening, your daily conduct now, your morals and values, how you live your lives, will determine how much of these storms reach into your personal lives and the degree of severity of these storms, and the realization they can be lessened by your constructive presence in this world. I and the ascended host know of everything that is taking place in the world of the people of planet Earth. And we know how all kingdoms are reacting, including the powers of nature. And therefore, I and the ascended host come to provide you with greater light and love and greater forces of protection to ensure that you all will have the things that you require while humankind faces these storms, while living in this world. We are intensifying our efforts from above to purify and raise as much of humankind that we are able to during these difficult times. To raise as many of you as we can, that your own inner light, that your own divinity, and all that we can add to you can repel the growing discord in the world and give each of you the greater opportunity to pour your light and your sacred fire to all life in this world. From the I Am Presence, the highest self of each person, from the angelic host, and from all of us who live in the Ascended Master realms, we are pouring greater light, the greater light that all of you are going to require. If you, beloved precious hearts, if you will acknowledge the greater assistance we wish to offer each of you, we will pour our light into your lives. We will strengthen the light within your emotional bodies where it is most required. And we will expand the light through your brain structure and therefore through your minds. If you call upon us, we will pour our light into all the constructive activities of your lives. Yet try to understand it is the emotional bodies of the people of Earth where our cosmic light is required the most. Almost every day, people, and even good, fine people, allow their feelings to become disturbed. And through disturbed feelings or discordant words, thoughts, judgments, opinions, and actions, all of this acts in people's own emotional bodies and then prevents the natural light, the natural love from one's own heart from expanding in the full power that is necessary to manifest protection in outer world activities and to hold constructive activity in control of the manifestations of people's lives. Therefore, precious hearts, for the greater good of your own lives, your families, and the mass of the people, if you call upon us, if you ask us, we will come and enfold you in a presence and power. This presence and power is a miracle mantle of love's mastery. Precious hearts, remember those words. Miracle mantle of love's mastery. Our mantle that I seek to offer anyone who asks is a mighty activity that we can draw around each of you. It is a real tangible garment of light, light substance, which the flame of love from my own heart and other Ascended Masters' hearts gathers, condenses, and forms into the miracle mantle of love's mastery that we send to you. Let me repeat that. If you will call to me and to others of the ascended host and ask us to enfold you, your life, in a miracle mantle of love's mastery. Our mantle is a mighty activity that we can draw around each of you. It is a real, tangible garment of light. Light substance, which the flame of love from our hearts gathers, condenses, and forms into this miracle mantle of love's mastery. We send it to you and enfold your life with our mantle. And this then allows our light to be absorbed into your emotional bodies. Light, which will begin to dissolve any emotional discord that is there. Light, that if you keep calling this forth daily, will begin to make your life a blazing sun's presence of our cosmic light that can repel the discord that is growing now in the world. Our light that can keep you all safe, protected, and provide you with everything that you require. Beloved, precious hearts, I came to warn humankind some 2,000 years ago. Very few listened or understood my message, my words. And now, discord that has long been generated in the world by hatred, anger, irritation, and by endless wars, has now generated a cloud of darkness that returns upon the peoples through these upcoming storms. I almost beg of you, precious hearts, that you will train yourselves to call upon my miracle mantle of love's mastery at least 3 times a day, and try to visualize a blazing presence of light gathering all around you and inside you. Let's make that call right now. Through my own God divinity, I reach up to the Christ presence, the one who lived in our world as Jesus, as Yeshu, some 2,000 years ago. The one who has become the universal Christ presence. Great Master, universal presence of the Christ, I call upon you, and I am grateful for the divine assistance and intervention that you offer into my life and the lives of others. And I ask you, mighty presence of Christ, enfold me, my life, my multi-body system. Enfold me in your miracle mantle of love's mastery. And as I call forth this gift from you, great Christ presence, every time I turn my attention back to you, strengthen and strengthen and strengthen again your miracle mantle of love's mastery around me in a way that my mental, emotional, and physical body can absorb that mantle of love's mastery and be the miracle of Christ's light, not only acting in my bodies, also building and building in such strength that what becomes my own miracle mantle of love's mastery begins to radiate light to others, begins to radiate light out into the world, especially during these storms. For I recognize that what the world requires most, what I require most, is the miracle of the light of the Christ. And this miracle, beloved Jesus, you offer to me as your miracle mantle of love's mastery. I thank you in the name of the Heavenly Father, in the fulfillment of the Heavenly Mother. Great Master, great Christ presence. And so it is, and so be it. And for those of you who know of the violet purifying and consuming flames, I would encourage you to find and use one of the many violet flame mantras that are now in the world. And I would encourage you to call forth world engulfing presence of the violet flames, oceans of them, into the world, into the powers of nature, and all kingdoms of life upon the earth that you share life with. The greatest cosmic showering of the sacred fire is now going to be required to minimize the impact of these upcoming storms upon all life on the earth. Call to us, beloved hearts, and we will keep you safe and protected and provided. My miracle mantle of love's mastery will help you, will guide you to make sure that you are at the right place at the right time. My miracle mantle of love's mastery will guide you in keeping where you live safe. Beloved hearts, if humankind is to survive these storms, they are going to require uncountable legions of angels into the world to help purify and harmonize all conditions. And more people must have the hand of God acting upon their lives from their own God presence and from the ascended host. It is important, precious hearts, that daily you allow your eyes to rest from the turmoil that is taking place in the world. And whilst you rest your eyes, that you turn within in loving acknowledgement and adoration of the great Master God presence that abides in you. That's what I did over 2,000 years ago. The same presence abides in each of you. Let not the turmoil of the outer world taint the use of your faculties. Turn within and turn your attention upwards to the great endless realms of light. Offer yourselves as a conduit, an instrument, a channel, and invite all of us to fill you with our light and our love. Turn to us and ask us to lift, expand, and raise your consciousness so that no longer is your consciousness registering the discordant conditions of the outer world. With all this said, be mindful, beloved hearts. It is to the degree of how constructive you are in living your life. This will determine how much we can assist you. Too many people in the world do not realize that when they think, speak, or act in negative, destructive, or discordant ways, too many people do not realize that all of the energy of that negative energy must act back upon their lives, unless they choose to change their ways, call upon the great cosmic law of forgiveness and redemption. This is a universal law. It is part of growth. It is part of recognizing that sometimes we make mistakes. And even if we change our ways, the energy of those mistakes remain in the world. And that energy must be cleaned up. And for this reason, you have the sacred fire. Always remember to call upon your own God presence and the great Master Saint Germain and the angels of the violet flame, to pour the violet flame into all your energy, the energy you put out, energy from your thoughts, from your words, from your actions, which may not always be as pure and positive as you think they are. It is wise for one to call forth from their own God presence and the angels of the violet flame, to send those violet flames into all the energy that is your energy that you spent, that is your energy out in the world, and call upon the precious violet flame to enter into that energy and cleanse and purify it, and that energy be returned to the universal to be used over again. It is the only way. Ask not the Heavenly Father or the Heavenly Mother to forgive you, for they cast no judgment upon you. Rather, simply call upon the law of forgiveness and forgive yourself. I forgive myself for all mistakes I have ever made, and I forgive myself for any and every unkind thought or words or actions I have sent forth into this world. And I am grateful for the sacred fire. And I call upon the sacred fire, especially the violet purifying flames, to go into all the energy that I have sent forth in the world and cleanse and purify that energy so that it does no harm. I suppose, precious hearts, there is just not enough people who are awakened. People don't realize it is one thing not to realize that your words matter. And what you say is your energy you are sending forth through your words. It's one thing to know or not know that. And what is most unfortunate is people do not realize that their thoughts, their mental body and their emotional body is sending out their thoughts. People think their thoughts are private. They are not. Your mental and emotional body is always sending out the frequency, the vibration of your thoughts. And if they are negative and unkind or greedy or are of a perverse nature, those thoughts, that is energy. And as that energy goes out into the world, it gathers more of the same and then comes back to you in some form of suffering or limitation. We all must take responsibility. Accept the wonderful truth that we are all creator beings. I encourage each of you that you may have all the divine interventions we offer you, that you will do all that you can to maintain purity and harmony and peace, kindness and caring, honesty in your thoughts, in your words, your interactions with others, your relationships. Together, let us enter into a new absence of accusations. Accusations in your world are horrific, especially on the subject of politics. There is so much horrific, hateful judgment that people hold upon others of different political persuasions. What is wrong with the people of earth? Well, I know. Perhaps that's another conversation. Wouldn't it be wonderful that if there was a politician that you're not voting for, and people ask you why, rather than spewing hateful judgments, wouldn't it be wonderful just to say, I am not in alignment with that particular politician or their policies? You see, beloved hearts, every moment of every day, we can be expanding our light, our radiance, or we can keep shrinking and becoming smaller and smaller, engaging in horrific opinions and judgments that we place upon others. Even in the Christian faith, my message has been lost. My suggestions to love all, including your enemies, has not been listened to. And beloved hearts, there is too much filth in the world. And I hope you understand my meaning of this without me having to elaborate. And those who are creating this filth, they have no idea of how all of that destructive energy is now going to recoil and act upon their lives. The only way one does not suffer the discord or destructive energy they are responsible for, change your ways. Call upon the great law of forgiveness and redemption to enter into all of that energy. That is the only means to end karmic debt and stop destructively qualified energy from acting upon people's lives. Judge not, lest you be judged by the judgment you make upon others, and then that judgment upon yourselves would be greater. Remember me. I am the Christ presence, and I so desire that your light, your capacity to love, your divinity be loosened free. Make of yourself a magnificent vessel of love's treasury, of endless, shadowless light. And as you grow in this, then you must share it with the world and radiate and pour your light and love to all the people of earth. Yes, all. And to all life upon this planet that is suffering. Only by the presence of the light of God that never fails, only by the presence of the love of God that always fulfills, and only by the presence of the truth of God that always prevails, will you and humankind together make it through these tribulations, these storms. Together, let us be one. My consciousness has been successful in enfolding the divine universal consciousness of light and love. Therefore, it is a relatively simple thing for me, if you call upon me, to enfold you in my miracle mantle of love's mastery. I thank you for considering my message this day. I offer you the love of my mother, Mother Mary, and the love of Mary Magdalene, known as Princess Mary. Adonai, 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 beloved rose hearts of love's eternal presence. Adonai.